Okay, welcome back to Chapter 2. As you can see, the topic of Chapter 2 is the research process. We will spend a little bit of time in class also talking about your group projects. The main topic of Chapter 2 is this model, which is similar to what's in Exhibit 2.2 in your textbook. It looks a little bit different, but all the content is the same. This is what the focus will be in Chapter 2. I know there's a lot here on the screen, but this introductory video and our class discussions should help to make it a bit more digestible and easy to comprehend. The interesting part is that this model structures our entire semester. We will go through each of the steps in this process. In addition, your groups are going to be going through each of the steps in your group project. You'll be actually conducting a marketing research project going through from the start all the way down to the end of writing the actual report. So it's important to know this. This is something that structures our entire course. I'd like to start at the top just to give you a brief overview before we spend more time talking about this in class. Notice the first step in the process is to identify the problem or opportunity and then develop some research objectives. The first thing you should see is off to the left, the exploratory research box is really an input to this step. It helps us identify those problems or opportunities and help formulate our research objectives. When we talk about problems and opportunities, what we mean is someone who's interested in doing marketing research is exploring an issue. They may have a problem, such as sales seem to be lower than anticipated or expected. There may be some opportunity about exploring a new market or developing a new set of customers, but we have various questions we want to ask or need answered to help us understand why sales may be down, or why students might not be taking a course that we've offered, or how customers in a new market segment might respond to our offering. Once we have a general idea of that problem or the opportunity, we start to formulate research objectives, and then we lead through the next several steps of determining what research design we're going to use, the method of the research, our sampling procedure. Each of those first steps, you'll notice, are comprised or included in our research proposal. Each of your groups will be putting together a research proposal, and anyone who does marketing research typically does a document very similar to the research proposal that you'll do, where they put down on paper their ideas of how am I going to do this research project. It's real important that we have down on paper an outline of what we're planning on doing before we actually run out and collect the data and start doing the actual research, just to make sure we don't run into any surprises later on in the research efforts. So if you think about this model, the top half is really planning and devising what we're going to be doing, and then the bottom half, starting with collect the data on down, is actually doing the research of the research process. And so there's two distinct parts of the model. We'll spend a lot of time in class talking about some of the specific details of each of these, but the takeaway from this video is, number one, recognizing that this structures our entire semester and that your group is going to be doing each of these steps in the process. What I'd encourage you to do is take a look through the book and see the corresponding discussion to each one of these steps, and then in class we'll get into more detail about each of them. So I'll see you in class.